Now, I don't know about you, but every once in a while, I don't want meat. And I found this perfect recipe that I've adjusted to be meatless with these ingredients. And it is extremely tasty, and I've been requested to make it again and again. So, sponsored by any of these companies here, they're just the easiest ones to grab. But you'll need 375 grams of lasagna, that's about 6 sheets. You will need also ricotta, salt and garlic, cumin, parsley, paprika, some cheese, pumpkin. I'm just using a normal pumpkin. It's more likely better to use butternut pumpkin, but this is what we got at the moment. 2 onions, 2 cans of lentils, passata, a can of crushed tomato. We have some spinach here. I use frozen spinach here, but it's preferable to use fresh if you can get your hands on that at the time. I'm also using 2 stock cubes just to make the stock later, because just what I have in the cupboard at the time. Let's go. With the pumpkin, you're going to want to cut 1 centimeter pieces each way. This is the perfect size, otherwise it'll be too thick. So I'm going to interrupt here because while editing this, I realized how blunt those knives are. They're very blunt. So if anyone has any suggestions for brands or types of knives that I should take, I'm also doing research myself, but suggestions are always welcome because these are dull and get dull very easily. So any suggestions, put it down below. Please, thank you, bye. Let's get back to it. So now we're going to cut the onions. We've got the 2 onions here. We're going to dice them. You're going to want to cut the long ends off on both of them, and then put the flat side down and cut it in half and peel it. If you want to have me actually teach you how to properly cut an onion, I got taught by chefs, and this is the proper way how I taught it. Once you've peeled off all of the skins though, which makes it easy because the skins are not tasty at all, you're going to want to cut, while it's laying flat, small slices through the middle bit, and then come back and do dices right down, as I'll show you in a second. Like right down, but not all the way to the nubbin, because then it'll fall apart. This will also stop you from crying more. And look at that. Look at my handwork. I am doing so fabulously. If you want me to properly teach you, I'll do a proper video, but this is just a quick and easy how to dice an onion and how I was taught. For this recipe, you need about a teaspoon of olive oil. My pan just needs reseasoning. It is not gross, but you'll put 1 teaspoon of delightful olive oil into the pan, and then just put all of your freshly diced onions in there to cook. They're going to smell delicious in a couple of seconds. Just give me a sec. And then you're going to mix them around easily so all heat gets dispersed properly. So now we're going to add the garlic because we need to cook that through. Otherwise, you'll end up with a really pungent garlic taste. As even though most people like that, it's a little offensive in a meal like this when there's so many other complementary flavors. So just mix it in, let it cook through for a while before you start doing anything else. Now that's all cooked through, I'm just going to put a teaspoon of parsley in. Oop, that wasn't a full teaspoon. Give me 1 second, go Lana. And then we're going to put about a teaspoon of paprika. It's a bit struggling coming out. Oh, let's slide in. There we go. And then a teaspoon of the cumin. Oh, these bags are not great. Wait, there we go. Come on, jiggle out. Come on. Slowly. Now at this point, you're going to want to add in the amazing pumpkin you cut out before in the 1 centimeter pieces. Slam it in there. I've got it in the tray that I'll be using later for the actual lasagna itself. And then you're going to put in the 2 cans of lentils that you would have rinsed earlier and prepared earlier. Like a sane person, I actually did it. And then the stock. They're only the 1 cup of the stock for now. You may need more if it seems to run out very quickly or dry out very quickly. Not that hard. You want to mush it around for a bit and let heat get all the way through it. Now, at this point, I'm going to put the passata in. This jar is not enough passata for what I need it for, so that is why I have the can of tomatoes. That'll be fine. It'll just be a little less flavorful than what a passata is, and a little bit more chunks in it with the tomato, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. It just adds more texture and more, I want to say taste, but no, just more texture. Now, this is where after letting it sizzle for a little while and bubble and twirl and be all witchy like, I want you to add in about a teaspoon of salt and pepper, or to at least taste, so you can taste it at this point if you like tomato bit of seasoning, onion, and pumpkin, which won't be fully cooked right now. So if you like raw pumpkin, go for ahead and taste it. But now just like, after you've seasoned it all, you'll let it sit for a little while and let it keep bubbling, because you want the pumpkin to start cooking all the way through, because it will not cook all the way through in the oven once you put it in. That has been cooking for probably about 5 minutes now. I'm going to put in rosemary now because that's going to add more depth to it. I left it till now because I don't want it to completely lose its flavour amongst the other stuff. So it's about a teaspoon. That's it. We'll move on to the ricotta. Well, it's going to be in the middle. So I put what says a pinch is about ½ teaspoon into the, I think, 500 grams of ricotta. I suggest using the big bowl that I have because it's going everywhere. Oops. I'm using. Now, if you haven't realized my problem, I do have a pan that is way too small for what this recipe accounts for. I have it written down on pan. You need a 26 centimeter by 20 centimeter by 6 centimeter deep dish. I have this, so we'll make do, but just a reminder, this is not going to be big enough. Please get a bigger dish. Don't do my little mistake. Though in saying that, I'll probably end up doing what I did with the zucchini slices and make little ones. So I'm going to start doing this while that is still cooking, and I'm going to ruin everyone's day by cutting a pasta sheet with scissors, just so it fits. That'll be the first layer, and we'll put some pumpkin mix in a second. To stack this, you're going to put a nice layer of the mix of pumpkin and lentils. Some of the ricotta. Sounds really annoying. Add the creaminess and cheesiness. I did not say this recipe was lightweight, but I did say it was delicious. I mean, it did technically say it was healthy-ish. A little bit of spinach. I like spinach, so I'm putting that knife down. And repeat. But the other way, so you want it going opposite directions. If that doesn't quite fit, you can add a little extra. I'm going to steal it up. The next one into the corner. We're going to add the rest of the cider at this point. Some ricotta. Now this is super hot, so I'm going to get this over with as quickly as possible. This is one of the best vegetarian lasagnas I have ever tasted and smelt, because right now I'm getting wafts of it. You can get the recipe down in the description on my website, where you can find a bunch of other recipes. Like, follow, subscribe, all my social media. That will be very welcomed and amazing. This is really hot. Thank you so much. Bye.